For those of us lucky enough to have visited a Disney theme park, you've probably toyed with the idea of sneaking into the bushes at the end of the night and living the rest of your days in these magical worlds. It seems like a dream, but now those dreams are becoming realities, with the multi-million-dollar mansions of Golden Oak and the recently announced Storyliving by Disney estates. But would living in a community with the mouse's watchful eye be as glamorous as a trip to the Magic Kingdom? That's what we want to unpack. So today, let's first explore what Disney says Storyliving is, before peeling back the curtains and seeing the ugly truth underneath. I'm Luke for Review Time, and this is Storyliving, Disney's dystopian desert town. Storyliving is not Disney's first foray into the world of real estate and community development. Back in the early 1990s, Disney announced Celebration in Orlando, Florida, a master-built community designed around walking that contained homes, shopping, restaurants, and even schools. This community is probably the closest the Disney company will ever get to Walt's original idea for an experimental prototype community of tomorrow. And even then, Celebration bears almost no resemblance to Epcot the city. Celebration would welcome its first tenants in 1996. However, less than 10 years later, Disney ultimately sold Celebration off to private investors. This was their plan all along, but to the unknowing public, it looked like Disney was done with the real estate game. This was until 2010, when Disney would announce the ultra-exclusive and expensive Golden Oak residential development, a development that is now completely sold out. If you are interested in some more details about Disney's $10 million plus homes in Orlando, be sure to check out our videos on Golden Oak. Storyliving by Disney seems to sit somewhere between these two previous attempts at the housing industry. But before we take a deeper look into what Storyliving by Disney actually is, let's take a look at what Disney's marketing machine is advertising it as, because looks can often be deceiving. The first of these communities will be built in Rancho Mirage, California, around 2 hours east of Disneyland. Disney states that this new community named Catino is intended to inspire residents to foster new relationships, pursue their interests, and write the next exciting chapter in their lives, all while enjoying the attention to detail, unique amenities, and special touches that are Disney hallmarks. According to Disney, the new communities will feature distinctively designed spaces, unique amenities, and world-renowned service, with each location operated by Disney cast members. People looking to purchase in the community can choose from estates, single-family homes, or condominiums, with specific neighborhoods expected to be built exclusively for those over 55. Similarly to Golden Oak, it is expected that you will not be able to rent out your house in these communities, in either a long-term tenant situation or an Airbnb short-term rental situation. On top of your house prices, there is also a voluntary club membership program that will give you access to a variety of curated experiences, entertainment options, and philanthropic endeavors. Of course, being Disney, these communities won't just include houses, but also a range of shopping, dining, and entertainment offerings. In Catino, these offerings will be anchored by a 24-acre grand oasis featuring crystal clear waters. On the water, you can participate in several beach and recreational water activities, or simply stroll along the boardwalk. If you want that extra Disney in your life, they will also offer a voluntary club membership that will provide access to a waterfront clubhouse, an exclusive beach area, as well as the opportunity to pay even more to purchase tickets to Disney entertainment and activities throughout the year. And these upcharge offerings will be on top of the compulsory HOA fees. But Disney has always been the master of saying a lot of words without really saying anything at all. Pulling back the buzzword curtain though, we can get a true idea of the what, and more importantly the why, of Storyliving by Disney. The most important thing to know is hidden right at the bottom of Disney's official website. Storyliving is not being developed by Disney. They are not building or selling any homes in these communities. The companies that are building are independently owned and operated home and community construction companies. Catino in California is being developed in collaboration with DMB Development, a company that has built over 20 master plan communities across the United States. The closest of these communities to the upcoming Catino is Ladera Ranch, which, ironically, is closer to Disneyland than the Disney community will be. Ladera Ranch ticks all the boring expected boxes of development of this kind, including houses way too close together, HOA prices that cost over $10 per day, and countless private parks. Ladera Ranch contains over 8,000 houses, which today sell for over $1 million on average, and that's without any form of Disney premium pricing. But if someone else is constructing these communities, what does Disney hope to gain from the agreement? Disney has found almost a perfect money-making scheme, attaching their name to something that should bring them a lot of money without them having to put down a lot of money to achieve it. Disney is expected to bring in profits every step of the project. From an initial design fee they charge the developers for the Imagineers to help them design the more community aspects of the properties, to HOA fees that will deliver a direct, reliable income stream to Disney, all the way to licensing fees they are expected to receive from the developers. Ultimately, companies will give Disney a lot of money in the hope that slapping a Storyliving by Disney mark on their development will lead to increased property values. But don't worry if you can't afford the what will no doubt be exorbitant prices for these houses. Disney has announced they will sell a day pass to the property, allowing you to explore the shopping, dining, and entertainment district, as well as swim in the community pools and beachfronts. So essentially, if you live here, you also have to be happy with essentially living within a Disney ticketed attraction. To me, the more and more I look into Storyliving by Disney, the less and less it makes sense. I know the area around Rancho Mirage already has a number of these master-built communities, but to me, it's always strange to see companies go, "We're going to build a community around a giant, crystal-clear man-made lagoon of water, right here in the middle of the drought-stricken desert of California." I know at the end of the day, they're a company, and environmentality only seems to matter when it's financially viable. But doesn't building this kind of thing negate moves such as your giant Mickey Mouse-shaped solar farm and the message that they sell as part of their Animal Kingdom conservation experience? It feels like Disney has moved towards a do as I say, not as I do mentality as of late. In Celebration, Golden Oak, and a lot of other master plan communities around the United States, you are heavily restricted to what you can and can't do on your own property. You only own the interior of your building and are free to change anything and everything inside your property. However, anything outside, like the walls and roofs, can't be touched or changed without express permission from the HOA, meaning you only really own half of your house. I guess I just struggle to understand who this is for. There is an interesting tightrope that has to be walked here by Disney and the developers, especially in regards to the over 55s living communities. If there's too much Disney, it might just be seen as some kid's neighborhood, but too little, and then what are you paying the premium for? Ultimately though, if you peel back all of the layers, this just seems to be another way to tie more revenue back to the Disney Parks, Experiences and Products branch of the company. This is the exact same reason we keep seeing more and more DVC properties constructed and contracts sold. They're all tied to the parks and resorts bottom line. I cover Disney for a job. I visit Disney parks almost yearly and have an entire bookshelf of theme parks and Disney memorabilia behind me. And even I wouldn't want to live here. Storyliving by Disney seems to just be a buzzword marketing push to sell lightly themed housing estates for a huge profit, with little risks involved. But what do you think? Would you ever live in a Storyliving by Disney community like Catino? Let us know in the comments section down below. For Review Time, I'm Luke. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to tap that subscribe button. Thanks so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Review Time. If so, be sure to like and subscribe, and also check out our podcast, Review Time's Theme Park Cast, available on your podcasting platform of choice.